My name is George Vawter. I was born on October 5, 1938 in Otter Creek, Illinois. It was a thriving metropolis of 8 people. It was more of a township than a town or even a city. But that's where my mother grew up, and that's where I was born. My dad was Assembly of God Church. My dad was assistant pastor and on the board of directors, and my mother was secretary to the church and also the music director. She played the piano and the organ, and she was very good at it. And that's where my mom and dad met. I was born at a very young age. And I always like to tell the story that my parents never liked me saying this, but they were married on October the 4th, and I was born October the 5th. So I would tell everybody that I was born the day after my mom and dad got married. And then they would have to explain to everybody that I had 4 older brothers and sisters. That I was the baby of the family. It was the anniversary that I was born after. So I just really enjoyed photography, and I can remember the entire yearbook was produced by about 3 photographers in the school that would go around and just take pictures of different things. And then we would develop them. It's something I got A+s in photography, so that's how, and it's something that I enjoyed so much. I said, that's what I want to do if I ever grow up. Then as soon as I graduated from high school, I got a job, but about a month after I was working, I get this letter from the United States government, delivered personally, and it said, you are to report for active duty, and they gave me 2 weeks to report to active duty at the training center in Great Lakes, Illinois, which was right close to the Canadian border in February. So that was in 1958, in February, that I went into basic training. My assignment was, my rating was a torpedoman, but I was also ship's photographer, since I had photography experience, and I did a lot of the photography on board ship. But my battle station was a torpedo, and my secondary battle station was on a 3-inch anti-aircraft gun, where we'd fire 3-inch shells at aircrafts. When I got out of the military, I saw an ad in the paper for somebody that wanted somebody to work in a photo lab. I went in and talked to him, and he liked everything. He liked the schooling that I had, that I'd been in the military. And he says, okay, I'm going to offer you the job. Now, it was 20 cents an hour less than what I was making at Dillard's, but it was a field that I wanted to get into, so I said, I'll take it. So then he goes outside and tells everybody, I filled the job, no more applications. So I got the job, and I was with the company for over 25 years total. So I had 2 children. I had a son, Taryn, and a daughter, Shayna. Taryn, of course, was the first one, and that was in 1972. If I would write a book on what the ideal baby and child was, it would have described Taryn. from the day we brought him home from the hospital. Shayna was a little bit different. She was a little more independent. She wanted things done her way, and I mean, this was from day one, and she wanted to wake up in the middle of the night. It was everybody up. It was almost like the military. Okay, everybody hit the deck. I'm awake. You know, I think I probably got a lot of that from my dad. My dad did that a lot. I mean, we'd go to a restaurant, or we'd go to, you know, any place where he'd meet a stranger or anybody. I mean, he'd always joke with them. And I think that's just one-liners, always very up, and I just learned to pick up on this. And I even instilled a lot of this into my son. One that I that I always like, you've heard it 100 times, I'm sure. so you'll probably not like it. And that was the guy that goes into his doctor, and the doctor says, "Well, I got bad news and I got worse news. Which do you want first?" And the guy says, "Well, give me the bad news first." The doctor says, "Well, I got your test back from the laboratory, and you've only got 24 hours to live." The guy says, "Oh, what could be worse than that?" The doctor says, "I tried to call you all day yesterday." So, my biggest success in life would have to be photography from a natural standpoint. I mean, it's something I enjoyed from high school, and even as a profession, I looked at it as fun rather than being a boring job that you go to, because something is always different. You're always photographing something different, whether it be a high school yearbook, or whether it be nature, or whether it be photographing a wedding or photographing people, or it's always something different, and you're creating something different. There's no two pictures are alike. They're always different, and it's something that you've created. And I think it's a very creative business to be in, and I'd say that's what I've been most successful at. You know, I wouldn't change anything about my life. I think I've experienced good and bad, and I think that's part of life. I think what I have always tried to do is to be generous with both my time and my resources. Whoever I meet, even strangers, you know, if I can do anything for anybody, I'm willing to do it. And the monetary return to me means nothing. You know, I would be glad to do something for anybody and not even want to receive anything monetary in return. Just know that I have helped that person, and it's got me into trouble a lot. I've been too generous, and people have taken advantage of it, but it still doesn't matter, I'll still do it. I came into this world without a diaper, and I'll probably go out of this world without one. I'm not going to take anything with me. So what I have belongs to God and everybody else. Whoever God entrusts to whatever I have left, that goes to them. But it all belongs to Him. But I'm not going to take any money with me. I'm not going to take any jewelry with me. I might take my car with me, but I'm not going to take anything with me. So that's, and if I can bring happiness to somebody else or give them something, then that's all I care about.